All right, welcome to the explainer. The lights are up, the paddles are out, and somewhere a Google Sheet is about to be refreshed for the very last time. Today, we are breaking down the high-stakes final night of a competition where everything, and I mean everything, comes down to the numbers. Okay, so let's set the stage. An entire season is about to be decided by just a handful of games. You've got 6 players, each with 4 games left to play, and it's these brutal percentages that are going to decide who walks away a champion and who gets swallowed by the math. And that's really the heart of it, right? This isn't just about who plays well. It's about the cold, hard calculus of victory. Every single point has a direct, calculable impact on the final standings. It literally turns the game into a live-action spreadsheet. So okay, let's meet the players caught up in all this mathematical drama.
First up, let's look at the players at the very top of the food chain. These are your contenders, the ones who have a real mathematical shot at taking home the whole thing.
And at the top of that list is the current leader, Dan D. Folks call him the bully, and he comes into the final night with what looks like a comfortable lead, but really, it's more like a tiny statistical moat protecting his throne.
Now, what's so interesting here is just how vulnerable he actually is. Yeah, he's sitting pretty at a 64.29% win rate, but just look at this range of outcomes. His absolute best finish is just over 66%, but his worst? It drops him all the way down to 60%. That nearly 7% swing is exactly where his throne starts to look a little shaky. And this just shows you how razor thin those margins are. I mean, if he has a perfect 4-0 night, game over. He takes the crown, no questions asked. But if he goes an even 2-2, that door is suddenly wide open. And at total disaster, an 0-4 night, boom. He's not even in first place anymore. See, the bully only gets to stay on top if he keeps on winning. So who's challenging him? Well, in the other corner, you've got Dave. He's kind of the math nerd's favorite, you know? The quiet sleeper. He's not flashy at all, but his efficiency and his stats, man, they make him so dangerous coming into this. And the number you really need to focus on for Dave is that point differential, a plus 85. That is the best in the entire league, and it's basically his giant safety net. It shows he's not just squeaking out wins, he's dominating. And that could be the exact tiebreaker he needs when things get tight. Okay, and here's where it gets really cool. Dave's destiny? It's completely in his own hands. A perfect 4-0 night, and bam, his win percentage jumps to over 63%. That puts him right in the thick of it for first place. It's just a perfect example of what consistent, dominant numbers can do for you. Which, of course, brings us to the ultimate wildcard, Tyler. He is a total Cinderella story, but, and this is a big but, he's working with a dangerously small sample size, and that makes what could happen to him absolutely nuts. Yeah, this is the part where all the stats nerds are leaning into their screens. Just look at this swing. A perfect night, and he could actually finish in first place. First, but a total train wreck of a night, he could drop all the way to dead last. His potential outcomes literally cover the entire leaderboard. It's wild. So the question for Tyler is pretty simple, right? It's really the ultimate test of the numbers. Is he just a statistical blip, an outlier whose luck is about to run out? Or is he on the verge of becoming a league legend? We're about to see math and reality have a head-on collision. Okay, so we've talked about the contenders. Now let's talk about the players who aren't just playing for their own spot. Oh no, how they play tonight is going to directly decide who wins and who loses at the top. These guys, they are the agents of chaos. First up, Justin. You got to think of him as the fulcrum of the whole thing. He's like a lightning bolt with a calculator. He lives in that swing zone where just one good night from him could completely rearrange the entire leaderboard. He's just pure volatility. And this chart, it shows you that swing zone perfectly. I mean, he could climb from where he is now at 56% all the way up to almost 60, or he could crater to just over 51. That 8-point range is huge, and every single game he plays tonight is going to mess with someone else's chances at that top spot. All right, next up is Matt C. His game is not about fireworks, it's about friction. Think of him as a brick wall that just doesn't blink. His whole strategy is simple, and it's brutal. Just create these long, exhausting rallies, wear his opponents down, and then just thrive in the chaos that he creates. And then there's John. And let's be really clear about this. John is not here tonight to win the league. Nope. He is here to decide who doesn't win. He is the ultimate spoiler. He's the one known variable in this whole chaotic equation.
See, with 56 games already under his belt this season, we have a ton of data on him. His performance is pretty predictable. The spreadsheet knows exactly what to expect from him. And it's that reliability, that predictability, that makes him the most dangerous spoiler out there. So, okay, we've got our contenders, we've got our agents of chaos. What does this all mean? What should you actually be watching for tonight? Let's get down to the final truth hidden in that spreadsheet. So here's the deal for the final night. First place, absolutely in play for a few different people. The middle of the standings, it's a total blender, just waiting to get switched on. You've got Dave's point differential acting as his massive safety net, and then you have Tyler's tiny sample size, which is the ultimate wild card. The one thing that could just break all the predictions.
And you know what's going to happen when the dust settles, right? The arguments are going to start. By the end of the night, I guarantee you, someone's going to be standing there saying, "See, the numbers don't lie," using all that data to prove they deserve to win. And at the same time, someone else is going to be blaming it all on a small sample size, writing off their loss as just, a statistical fluke.
But at the end of the day, that's what this is all about, isn't it? It all comes down to that one final refresh of the spreadsheet to see where the math and the whole season finally lands. So it leaves us with one last question to think about. What do you think is more powerful? All that long-term data or the insane pressure of just one single night?